or on Lake Chautauqua, it's so narrow, if you shot a flare in the air, much less chance of somebody actually seeing that from shore, as opposed to having a distress flag or a handheld flare, you know, eye level across the lake, you're going to have a better chance of seeing that.
Depending on the size of the lake, then the flare gun works better.
Yes, yes.
If it's on Lake Erie. When you're out there, say you're trolling, do you have to be careful about anything, your engine particularly?
In our lake, Lake Chautauqua in
Yeah.
particular, one of the big things is you have a lot of weeds in our lake.
Yeah.
As we all probably know, weeds like to wrap around those propellers, and when they do that, they're very close proximity to the water intakes that we talked about earlier. And if those weeds plug that off, that plugs off your water supply to your cooling system, and next thing you know, your engine's overheating.
You're gone.
You know, the easy fix to that is pay attention to your gauges, pay attention to your alarms if you have them on your boat, and if you hear something or the water temperature goes up, turn the engine off. 9 out of 10 times that seaweed will fall off of that intake and start it back up, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, you have to, you know, manually take the weeds off with your hands and then start the engine back up.
What are they doing about the weeds?
You know, there's a lot of things that they're trying to do, and I applaud everybody's group for doing whatever they can do. But Lake Association obviously is harvesting weeds. That's one of the big things. They're one of the, I think, the only group that's you know, dollars in, weeds out program. They use their money to harvest weeds out of the lake. The alternative is, you know, sprays, chemical sprays, which I don't know if I'll see that happen again. We've done that several times throughout my lifetime, and I'll tell you right up front, I'm a fan of it. I think it worked great if it's in a controlled area and they do it like they've done in the past, but I don't know if we'll see that again. There's a lot of opposition to that.
Yeah, poisons. They don't like that.
Yeah.
Well, McGee gave us a couple of weed cutters when she was senator. Incidentally, she's been replaced by an equally caring young lady, Kathy Young. But McGee gave us those cutters, and they've been using them. I think they're still using them, aren't they?
They are heavily.
But unfortunately, it's just like getting a haircut. The weeds go right back up.
They do. They do. And the weeds float. Some of the weeds that don't get brought up onto the conveyor, they float. So sometimes, you know, it's for a short period, you're going to have to go through a little bit of inconvenience to get the convenience of the shorter weed. But it does make them grow again. Obviously, this is like cutting your lawn. It's no different.
Right.
You know,
Speaking of which, they tell me that the people that fertilize their lawn along the edge of the lake are contributing quite a bit to the weed.
It does. Phosphorus is one of the big things I know that's a weed contributor. There's a lot of things you can do with lawn care, septic systems that are going, you know, leaching into the lake. There's a lot of things there you can do to prevent weed growth. I know at the Marina we are actually installing a new drain system for all of our boat washing that actually goes directly into the sewer system. There's nothing that leaches out anymore or anything like that, so it's going to be that's a help. And anybody that can help with anything like that, you know, every time somebody does one more thing to keep stuff out of the lake, it's going to be a big help in the long run.
So you're saying the soaps are not good because they do contain phosphorus?
Yes, they do.
They're just as bad as fertilizer.
Yeah, and there are phosphorus-free soaps out there. That's as people become more aware of that, there's a lot more phosphorus-free things that are available.
Well, good old horse manure ought to do it on the lawn.
That's true too. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, they say one of the contributors, though, used to be. They're not so much anymore as the cattle ranches. They put in anybody anywhere near the lake.
That's right.
It puts a lot of fertilizer in the lake eventually.
It does.
Not good. Not good. Okay, the lake. Do you ever go for muskie?
Personally,
yeah.
No, I don't.
John Lunsman, who for whom they named that beautiful park up in Brockton. You've seen that, I'm sure. There's an outlook there that's absolutely gorgeous,
yes,
from the Lunsman Park. John used to be on TV, and he used to do a show right before or after me, and so I got to know him pretty well. And he was a county planner, but he was a muskie fisherman par excellence, and he used to guarantee anybody that he could take them out with him muskie fishing, and he would guarantee they'll get a muskie. Now that's really knowing your stuff.
Yes, it is. That's a big guarantee. You're right.
Yeah.
But and the muskie population has really come back. I know. I don't personally fish for them, but I know a lot of guys that do, and the muskie population is incredible now. We have, you know, customers of mine that are out there fishing for a walleye or something else, catching muskies by mistake, which that hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah. Well, of course, most of the muskies, I think they said 85% of them, are actually stocked from the Pendergrass Point fishery.
Yes.
Where they raise the muskies and then they release them. And they say, well, there's a small number that regenerate from the actual stock in the lake, but most of them don't for some reason. I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure either, but I know the fish hatchery has an incredible program, and they've really been, they're the reason that the muskie fishing is back the way it is now.
The DEC, which has many peculiar laws and regulations which change all the time, they will not let you keep a muskie under 40 inches. You must throw it back if it's under 40. Keep it if it's over 40. One of the things they apparently don't understand is that the male muskie only gains about 2 feet. Any other muskie that would be 40 feet is a female. You're throwing away your old egg-laying females.
Yes.
You're keeping them.
Keeping them.
But you're not keeping the males, which don't really contribute very much to the population.
That's true. That is true.
Kind of curious. You know,
Yeah.
when I was down in Long Island one time, they announced that DEC, that you cannot any longer put your fire alarm when it dies in the trash, because it's nuclear.
Yes.
It's got nuclear waste on it, a little nuclear thing on it. There's a trace amount of something in there, and they said you can't do it. Well, now you understand, Ken, Long Island has approximately 7 million people, each of whom probably has half a dozen alarms. And so, what are you going to do? Well, I called a company that takes care of nuclear waste, and I said, well, I got this nuclear item here. It's a fire alarm, and then I can no longer put it in the trash. I must, according to the person I spoke to, take care of it properly. So, what is taking care of it properly? He says, well, we'll take care of it. We come over and pick it up, and we put it in a lead case, and then we have a lead truck, and we stick it in the lead truck. Take it to a disposal area out in Utah. I said, holy mackerel, that's quite a lot. What's this cost me? He said, about $7,000. This is back in the 80s. $7,000. Now, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. You know, you got about a million fire alarms going off, dying every year in Long Island. So I called the DEC and I said, look, this is quite a problem. I had a radio show at that time. I said, I'm going to inform the people about how to properly dispose according to your people. And he said, well, let me get back. That day they adjusted the law. You could only throw one at a time away. Oh, wait a minute. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning on this beautiful, beautiful day, although it's a little chilly outside.
I know. It's about 14 out when I left my porch, yeah.
Well, it's gone up. Dunkirk's at 21 at this point.
Holy mackerel, Andy, it's a heat wave.
We're supposed to get to the high 20s, I guess. It looks beautiful out, but I had to go outside, and it is a wee bit chilly.
Yeah.
I do have a question for your guest.
Sure thing. Go ahead.
I'm from down near Lake Erie.
Lake Erie.
I was raised on Lake Erie. And when I was a child, which was many years ago, there used to be fishing boats out on the lake. And now if you go down to Barcelona, you don't see fishing boats anymore. Do you ever get people that are interested in the old fishing boats coming in and asking you if you have any information about them or anything like that?
Actually, we do. You know, we get a lot of visitors to our area, as you know, and people do come in looking for things like that. And unfortunately, it's hard. You're right. It's hard to find. It's not like it used to be, even just 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
There are still some out there, but it's just not as prevalent as it used to be.
Because I'm telling you, Lake Erie perch and the walleye, it's about the best eating you're ever going to have in the fish department. Sweet, succulent. Oh.
You better.
Yes, yes, without a doubt.
It's a shame that we don't have more fishing going on. I will tell you, though, in Northeast, there's a place down by the lake, and I don't remember the name of it. I never can remember the name of it. It's at the bottom of the two hills as you're going down on Route 5. They always have Lake Erie perch and lake perch and walleye, and it's a fairly reasonable price. I think it's like $13 for a dinner, but you get a lot of pieces of fish and a complete dinner, and it's very, 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 very good.
I looked at the ad that's put out by Tops. You can go online and get it a little early. This week, around a little less than $9, you can buy the walleye pike.
Wow.
At Tops. How about that?
Yep.
That's a good price.
That's a good price. I didn't think paying that much for fish, but you know, yeah, you could get catfish for $3 at Walmart, but
but it doesn't taste the same.
No, it's not the same.
There's a little bit of difference there.
Oh.
But anyways, I was just wondering if maybe they had maybe a club or something for people that were interested in the old boats and things like that in the area.
the old boats club is a lot of wood, huh?
Yeah, you know, not that I know of as far as fishing boats. Now there is a group of guys over at the old Lawson Marina by the Italian fishermen in Bemis that's actually putting together an antique boat museum over there. But the actual fishing part of it, unfortunately...
Now that's on the Bemis Point side of the lake, near Bemis Point?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will have to keep that. I belong to a club
Keep an eye
and
on
look for
that.
things to do, and we'll have to keep that
Okay,
in
well,
mind.
you know, fishing declined sharply just after Prohibition was refuted. There was a noted person down in Barcelona who had a lot of... They had 12 boats out there when I was a kid. And this gentleman, Pike Monroe, was reputed, I'm not saying he did this, to make a number of night runs to Canada. And he brought them up, and according to the old timers in Westfield, they take them up to the where the barber shop is on the corner of Portage and Main. There were two, Nellie and Julie Poole, who ran that. Well, Julie ran the soda fountain. She had a soda fountain there, and you'd go in and you ask for a special. She knew just what you wanted.
I understand, Mr. Powers, you might have even had a relative that might have been involved in some of those fishing trips across the lake during Prohibition.
No, I'm not aware of any such relative.
Well, anyways, it's been very. I have been at your place across from. What's the name of your place, Mr. Shearer?
Chautauqua Marina.
Yes, I've been there before, and you have a wonderful place. Plus, your view is beautiful across the lake.
Thank you. We don't have a lot to do with the view, but thank you for the compliment on our marina.
I should be able to buy a boat shortly.
That's great. We're ready.
Well, thank you, caller.
I'd also like to take an occasion to say hello to Mr. and Mrs. B, and remind everybody that the schools are now having plays and stuff like that. I know Westfield's having Hairspray. The first and second of the tickets are going fast, so if you're interested, call somebody at the school and get your tickets, because it's going to be a wonderful show.
Thank you. Thank you for the tip.
And enjoy the beautiful day. I understand
will.
it's going to last like almost a week. Not till next Wednesday. Maybe we might get a little participation, but it's supposed to be sunny the whole week, except for maybe a little chilly.
Well,
getting warmer each day.
Well, great. We don't need any more participation.
No, I see spring. I see spring.
Okay, thank you, caller.
Oh, thank you.
Get out there and pick those daffodils shortly, hey?
Well, the crocuses are up. So
Yeah, I noticed that.
the daffodils are next.
Absolutely. And go up to, there's a little place up on the hill called, what the hell do they call it? It's an old farm community. As you're going on the Westfield Sherman Road, you pass Volusia. It used to be a commune. And now it's just a farm corner, and there's about 4 streets there for the corner. And just before you get to Volusia itself, on the side of the road there is a million. I'm not exaggerating, daffodils, and they let you pick them. Everybody in the county goes up there and picks a big bouquet of daffodils.
The reason I knew the name of the place was because as a child, we used to go daffodiling up there.
At Volusia. And they keep the daffodils going.
Right. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Send me send me an envelope for $5. I'll give you a $5 coupon. 2 of them, as a matter of fact, over to Lakeview, that wonderful place with a salad bar that never ends.
And they have delicious food, too.
Yes, they do.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Try the fish fry.
They do, and in the summertime, they've had some of the perch from Barcelona over
they
there.
really?
Yes, they did. I had it. It was very good.
Bobby Irwin catches those perch. He's the last fisherman that does fish. I don't think the last 2 or 3 years, I think I've seen his boat on big timbers out in back of his fish house.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
But I grew up with Bobby. He was in my class.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still catching some over there. I know that.
Yeah, I know.
And they're good.
And they're incredibly delicious. I got my son-in-law's stepfather is a fisherman for perch, and he knows his stuff. He goes out